66 million years ago, the Earth was a very different world. A world where no human eye had ever looked upon the sky. Millions of years ago, Earth was a paradise of giants, where life thrived in perfect balance. The forests were oceans of green. The land was warm, humid, and teeming with life. A paradise that had existed for over 150 million years. In the skies, enormous pterosaurs ruled the air, some with wingspans wider than a small airplane. They were the masters of the heavens. On land, Triceratops moved in great herds across open plains, beneath a sun that never knew winter. Life was abundant, predictable, and ancient. Giants walked the earth. Creatures so immense they shook the ground beneath their feet, yet they were gentle giants, feeding peacefully on ancient trees. Above all land predators stood the Tyrannosaurus rex, the most powerful hunter that ever walked the earth. Nothing challenged it. In the seas, monsters with fins and teeth reigned over silent abysses. The oceans were as deadly as the land, ruled by creatures of impossible size. For over 165 million years, dinosaurs had ruled every corner of this planet. This was their world, complete, balanced, and seemingly eternal. Even smaller predators were formidable. Raptors hunted in coordinated packs, using intelligence that rivaled many mammals alive today. On the night of their last day, they slept under the same stars they always had. None of them knew that across the void of space, their fate was already moving toward them. It entered the atmosphere at 70,000 kilometers per hour. The friction alone created a fireball brighter than 1,000 suns. Animals 3,000 kilometers away saw the sky turn white. Across the continent, every animal stopped. They looked up. Something was wrong with the sky, but there was no time to run. It struck the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico with the force of 10 billion nuclear bombs, releasing more energy in 1 second than all volcanoes on Earth combined in a million years. The shockwave flattened every forest within 1,500 kilometers in minutes. Everything in the impact zone was vaporized instantly. The ground itself turned to liquid. The impact triggered a mega tsunami, waves hundreds of meters high, that swept across entire continents, drowning everything in its path within hours. The impact launched billions of tons of molten rock into orbit. Within hours, it rained back down across the entire planet, setting every forest on Earth on fire simultaneously. Every continent burned. The sky turned black with smoke. The temperature on the surface rose to oven heat. Most animals that survived the impact died in the firestorm within the first day. Without sunlight, temperatures plummeted by 15 degrees worldwide. The tropics froze. Snow fell on lands that had been warm for 100 million years. The impact winter had begun. Without sunlight, plants died. Without plants, the plant-eaters starved. Without prey, the great predators had nothing to hunt. The entire food chain collapsed within months. The largest animals needed the most food. The great dinosaurs began to die, not in fire but quietly, in the cold and the dark, one by one, across thousands of years. By the end, 3 of 4 species gone. 76% erased. A silence not heard since before the first fish. Somewhere, at some quiet moment, the last non-avian dinosaur drew its final breath. The age of dinosaurs, 165 million years, came to an end not with a roar but in silence. But life did not end. Small warm-blooded mammals had survived underground. They could eat seeds and insects. They were adaptable. And they were about to inherit an empty world. Birds survived because they are dinosaurs, carrying an ancient legacy into a new world. Years passed, then decades, then centuries. Slowly the ash settled. Sunlight returned. And life, impossible to fully extinguish, began to push back through the gray. With the dinosaurs gone, mammals exploded into every niche the dinosaurs had left empty. They grew larger, more complex, more varied, rapidly filling a world that was theirs for the taking. Today in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, you can still find the scar. The Chicxulub crater, 180 kilometers wide, buried under jungle and ocean, the wound that changed the world. How do we know all this? Because they left their bones in the rock. Fossils are time machines. They carry the story of these creatures across 66 million years to tell it to us today. Every mammal alive today, every elephant, every whale, every chimpanzee, exists because of that asteroid. Without it, dinosaurs would still rule the earth and we would never have existed. No empire lasts forever. Dinosaurs ruled for 165 million years. We've existed for less than 1% of that. But life returned. More diverse, more beautiful. Earth has a power no asteroid can defeat, an unstoppable drive. The story of the dinosaurs is not a story of failure. It is a story of transformation. Life found a way. It always does. And on this small blue world, it continues, carrying their legacy in every wing beat, every heartbeat to this very day.